'Tis the season for decking the halls, eating cookies, singing songs with your friends and loved ones, and giving those friends and loved ones presents. And why should your playgroup be any different? I have a deck for you today that is going to spread that love and give your opponents a whole bunch of things. And I'm pretty sure these are the types of things your opponents are going to wish they could regift, but they're not going to be able to. Hello there, Lorcana lovelies. I have a core casual deck for you today that I'm really excited about. I like themed style decks, and the holidays always kind of give me a little bit of inspiration of something very specific to build around. In this case, I have a Ruby Emerald, so a green-red deck, that is built around songs, and thus I'm calling it my Christmas Carols deck. So let's take a look at some of the cards in it, and then we'll go to the deck list. Okay, we're going to start with my basic premise, which is I wanted it to be a Christmas Carol deck. That's what I wanted to call it. So instead of starting with the strategy, which is probably where you should start, I started with the general theme, which is red-green songs. So I had my colors locked in right there, and I had the fact that I wanted songs to be part of the list. So I started in a whole bunch of different ways, but the basic gist that I had to kind of figure out was first, how do you win? You always want to be able to figure out how you win the game, and then you want to build backwards from that. So I started with the Robin Hood here, so the Robin Hood Sneaky Sleuth. It's a card that I've always really liked the idea of, especially in multiplayer. So this deck is built with the idea of multiplayer in mind. I'm totally sure you can play it in 1 versus 1. But at the deck box, we play a lot of multiplayer. Our Sunday casual league is all multiplayer, so it's like pods of 4, or tables of 4, I guess, and it's kind of every man for themselves. So in multiplayer, this Robin Hood can be absolutely amazing, because if you have, say, 3 opponents, and those 3 opponents have 3 characters out, and let's be honest, your opponents will probably have more than 3 characters out by the time he comes out, he gets +1 lore for each damage counter, for each damaged character the opposing players have in play. So that means if you have 3 opponents and they have 3 characters, that is 9 lore he's gaining off of those characters, and then the 10th lore just because he has 1 lore himself. So you can see with him, it will not take much to be able to win the game. So if this was my idea, if this was my payoff card, we have to work backwards from that. So I have my way to win. Now I need to figure out how to make him work. So I need damage counters on my characters. Well, luckily, with Whispers in the Well, we got a card out that fits right with this strategy and right with my theme here perfectly. It's a song, and it's in Emerald, which, again, just seems to be perfect for what I want here. I'm talking about Mean, Malicious, and Scary. So Mean, Malicious, and Scary says you put 1 damage counter on each opposing character. And it's only a 3-cost song. So by the time you're playing Robin Hood, hopefully you've got 1 more character out that can sing this song. And then you can sing Mean, Malicious, and Scary and quest with Robin Hood if you can shift him right away. So those are my ideas there. That was my payoff card and how I get there. So now let's kind of build backwards there. If I want to build a deck that is based around damage counters first, I need more than 1 way to get damage counters out there, or I need more than 1 benefit for those damage counters. Looking at kind of some of my higher payoff cards here, the one that I really like the idea of is the Mad Hatter, so the Unruly Eccentric. What he says is whenever a damaged character challenges another character, you can draw a card. And in multiplayer, this is even better because it doesn't say your opponent's characters and it doesn't say your characters, which means if you got, again, 3 other people at the table, if they all have damage on their characters and they're attacking each other's characters, you get to draw a card for each one of those as well, and it doesn't cost you any ink to be able to do that, which is great. He quests for 2, and he's a 3/5, so not too bad there. But the card draw I'm hoping to get off of him, I'm hoping it's going to be absolutely great, especially, like I said, with 3 opponents. Another one that I have kind of like a splash one of in the deck is the Alice Clumsy as Can Be. She's also 6 drops. These are higher payoff cards, but she does shift for 3. I don't think I have a smaller Alice in this deck, but you could edit this to put a smaller Alice in this deck if you wanted to be able to shift her earlier. So she's a 2/6, so she can stick around and stick through a decent amount of damage herself. But the cool thing that she has that synergizes with this deck is she says whenever this character quests, put 1 damage counter on each other character. Now, unfortunately, she hits our own characters too, and we don't want to be giving the gift of damage counters to ourselves. We want to keep that to our opponents. So that's why I only have her as a 1-of. I'll try it. I'll see. We'll see if I want to put more of her on there. But if we want to be a little bit more even, it might be nice to put damage counters on our stuff too. But let's be honest, we probably don't want to do that. So if those are kind of the synergizing with this card, the synergy with this deck as far as like the higher payoff cards go, what else can we do with damage counters? Well, we can put them on our opponent's characters in other ways. So, like I said, it's good to be able to have more than one card that can put damage counters on characters. So, I do have the Queen of Hearts, the Unpredictable Bully. She says that whenever another creature is played, put a damage counter on them. It counts your own characters as well, so it's a global thing. Again, it is showing our opponents that we're willing to take the damage counters ourselves, but you can see how when it's paired with Robin Hood, how that kind of works really nice there. I also have the Robin Hood archery contestant. He's a shift target for the bigger Robin Hood, which is the main point of him, but he does also have that damage counter synergy there, where if there's a damage character in play, he gains a lore when he enters the battlefield. So if that's kind of the damage counter side of things, what do we have for the song side of things? So a lot of my songs have to do with card draw, or at least I guess two of them. The two early ones do. I have Strike a Good Match, which is card draw, and I guess discard. And I also have Go the Distance. So Go the Distance lets you ready something of yours that's damaged. So if you are fighting something a little bit early, well, we're going to be able to ready it with this and hopefully maybe keep it safe. And then you get to draw a card with it. And then we already talked about the Mean, Malicious, and Scary. The other little fun thing that I have sprinkled in there for making sure that your opponents can't re-gift or return the damage counters that we're giving to them is the Vision Slap. It says the damage counters can't be removed. Also, I mean, at the beginning of your tournament, if an opposing character has damage, then you gain a lore, so that's nice too. But we really want to make sure that our opponents are not re-gifting or returning our presents. All right, so that's the basic gist of the deck. Let's kind of go through it card by card here, and I can kind of tell you what each card or what the general purpose for each card is as far as my design goes. Starting early with the Dormouse, I have no 1-drops. Like I said, I want this deck to go late game, and if I'm designing it for multiplayer, I don't really need a 1-drop. My opponents can pick on each other first, and then I can kind of come in late game. Dormouse says that when you play her, you put a damage counter on a character, so she's great early game, but she's also great in the mid to late game when you want those damage counters to really get the payoff. I already talked about Robin Hood, and the Rush Queen of Hearts is there if we need to be able to challenge our opponent's characters early, or for a shift target for our bigger Queen of Hearts. And the shift target's kind of more what I have her in there for. Prince Philip with Ward is a shift target for the bigger Prince Philip, which I put in there just in case my opponents don't like my presence that much and they want to go kill my Robin Hood. I have a board sweeper so that I can make it so that everybody loses everything. So that's what the smaller Prince Philip is there for, as a shift target. Ursula, awesome. I love her because she sings songs twice. So when she sings a song, you play it again from your discard pile, and it goes to the bottom of your deck. And she can conveniently sing Mean, Malicious, and Scary for us. So it means that we could do that twice, which might take out some of their characters. You want to be careful with that. But more damage counters, the better, I think. I have the Ariel, which gives, when we play a song, it gives one of our characters evasive, so it can make somebody a little bit on the safer side. And a King of Hearts, which says that your characters can't be challenged by damaged characters. And if the whole point of this is to put damage counters on our opponent's characters, that means that they can't challenge our things, which is that much better. We did splash one of the Queen of Hearts Haughty Monarch, because she gets, if there's 5 or more characters with damage on them, and it includes your own, so if your opponents are beating you up too, you get the bonus for her. She gets +3 lore, which means she quests for 6, which is nuts. Now, she's fragile at a 2-3, but still, just questing for once with her is pretty good there. We talked about the next cards in the line here, and my last character, other than Prince Philip, which I kind of already mentioned, is Maui Half Shark. Gets us our actions back from the discard pile, is evasive, and also gains us lore when we play actions. So if we're going the more singing songs routes with this, it means that we can gain the extra lore from Maui there. As far as my songs go, I've already, like I said, mentioned them. We got Strike a Good Match, Go the Distance, Mean, Malicious, and Scary, and Be King Undisputed, just in case we need to make sure that things get wiped from the field there and get rid of some problems. Last card, Vision Slab, I already kind of talked about that, making sure that people cannot re-gift our wonderful gifts. So this is my Christmas Carols deck, giving the gift of damage counters to your opponents. I have designed this, like I said, for multiplayer, but totally give it a shot if you were looking for some type of like holiday-themed holiday-themed deck. to be able to play kind of throughout the season. I'm looking for other ideas. I want to get like a couple of holiday themed decks, and I don't have a huge amount of ideas other than damaged Christmas carols. If you have a just a holiday theme that you think could make it a deck that you could kind of give me some inspiration, looking for that. So kind of comment that if you have kind of like a holiday themed deck, or if you built one already and want to share it. I'm all about the themed decks. So I guess our closing remarks here are go and stretch your vocal cords to be able to sing your songs and give the gift of damage counters to your opponents and make sure they can't return them.